Live, local, now. This is WSFA 12 News at 6.
Almost 24 hours later, and firefighters are still on the scene of a huge mill fire in Tallahassee. This is video of last night, the historic Mount Vernon textile mill going up in flames. Hello and welcome. I'm Mark Bullock.
And I'm Valerie Lawson. More than 100 firefighters were called to Tallahassee to battle the massive fire.
Some of them still there, watching hot spots. Dispatchers got their first call about the blaze around 11 last night. Now investigators are calling it suspicious. WSFA 12 News reporter Jennifer Horton is joining us live on the scene. Jennifer, what is the latest?
Well, Mark, wind continues to be an issue as firefighters work to put out those remaining hot spots. But the real problem tonight, determining if this fire was set intentionally, and if so, who did it?
I feel like it's a nightmare. I feel like it's just a nightmare and I'm waiting to wake up. The roof went in and the walls on the outsides were just crumbling down everywhere. It was awful.
It was the heartbeat of Tallahassee and the oldest running mill in America. In fact, the Mount Vernon mill was such an integral part of life, Tallahassee revolved around it.
The history of the building is really Tallahassee. It's what made Tallahassee, Alabama. And that's what's so devastating for so many people. It was their first jobs, it was their livelihoods. The Mount Vernon mill people used to take care of this town. It was the foundation of Tallahassee.
Lori Rigel, like many lifelong residents, have a deep connection to the mill and dreamed of it becoming a commercial and residential space one day to continue its legacy. A dream burned in ashes, possibly at the hand of an arsonist.
Absolutely devastating to find out if anybody did this intentionally, because there's just no reason for it, and it was a beautiful historical building for Tallahassee.
Sadly, one of the few economic generators for Tallahassee was leveled in similar fashion, less than 3 blocks away.
We're still hurting from losing the Hotel Tallahassee. To go through this again, whether or not it was accidental or intentional, is just very heart-wrenching for all of us here in this town. It was like a nightmare last night to watch it.
We've spoken to countless people today standing on this bridge who have pointed at the mill and proudly said, "That's where I worked for over 10 years. In fact, it's hard-pressed to even find someone in this town who didn't work here or know someone who worked here at the mill. It closed in 2005, and it's really left a void in this community. Tonight, Mark and Val, that's why the people want answers about what started it."
All right, Jennifer, thank you. And if you have any information or saw anything suspicious near the mill or near the bridge last night in Tallahassee, call the State Fire Marshal's secret tip line. The number is 1-800-654-0775. Now, we did a little digging into the mill's history, and we can tell you it was built in the 1840s as part of one of the largest cotton textile manufacturing complexes in the South. During the Civil War, it produced uniforms for the Confederacy. It was purchased by the Mount Vernon Company in 1900. The building had actually been vacant since 2005 and was in the process of being torn down for recyclable materials.
And the mill isn't the first Tallahassee landmark to be destroyed by a fire. This is video from the fire at Hotel Tallahassee in 2009. 17-year-old Dylan Carroll pled guilty to intentionally setting the fire. Progress on the 80-year-old structure was made in 2013, but it has yet to reopen. Happening now, the fire in Tallahassee is impacting folks in the Notasulga area. The fire destroyed a CenturyLink fiber cable, knocking out phone and internet service to some in Notasulga. The mayor believes it's affected thousands. Police were able to reroute emergency numbers.
We are now running off of one hotspot off the cell phone, and we'll have to wait in line for Miss Teresa to check us out. And then handwrite tickets, and you know, it's bad.
Just be patient. Everybody's working as hard as they can to get services restored.
And the outage has not affected emergency 911 service. If you need non-emergency assistance, the Notasulga Town Hall is open.
New at 6, a vigil on the campus of Alabama State University today paid tribute to a student who died in a car accident this week. Demetrius Bell was the passenger in the car. It crashed on campus on Monday. Friends gathered at the crash site to say prayers for his family. Montgomery police have charged the driver of the car, June Malifaux, with murder. They say alcohol was a factor. The investigation continues. Developing right now, police are also investigating a shooting. They say that it happened on the north side on West Vandiver Boulevard. That's off Lower Wetumpka Road. We know one man was shot and he is in the hospital right now with life-threatening injuries. This shooting happened one street over from another shooting just yesterday in which the victim was killed. His name was Demetrius Kelly. That name released just today. Police are still investigating both incidents. No arrests have been made.
Governor Bentley is disappointed the prison construction bill failed inside the legislature, but Bentley says he will not give up and could call a special session. The governor's proposal to borrow $800 million to build 4 new prisons failed on the final night of the legislative session. Senators approved a scaled-back $550 million plan. The House did not vote on the bill.
We will not give up on this. It is a major, major problem in this state. I'm afraid that what may happen with the federal courts this summer may prove that that not passing it probably was a mistake.
While the governor says he will not rule out a special session, it won't happen anytime soon. The prison bill and BP settlement to free up millions for Medicaid would be included in that special session. Medicaid faces an $85 million shortfall. The Medical Association of Alabama is urging Bentley and state lawmakers to find a permanent revenue solution to fully fund Medicaid before the next fiscal year. They're calling it a dangerous situation, saying, quote, in just 5 months, 1/4 of our state's population will be at risk of losing their access to health care because of the legislature's inability to come to an agreement on funding options. About 1 million Alabamians are on Medicaid.
It's called Lenny's Law and was signed by the governor this week. It decriminalizes the possession of CBD oil, a derivative of marijuana. It's used for medicinal purposes by people with chronic diseases like epilepsy, often children. Tonight, we talk with those who were behind the bill and those who are grateful that it passed. Raycom political reporter Michael Downa is joining us with the new details.
Representative Ball has had a song and a bill stuck in his head.
This has been a long journey.
Trying to find just the right note.
When Lenny's mom, when I sent it to her and she looked at it and I could hear her crying, she said it's perfect.
Like the song stuck in his head, Ball would just not let go of Lenny's bill. And yesterday, Lenny's bill officially became Lenny's Law, which could provide a world of difference for families like the Townsends.
And so with this medicine now, I may not have to worry if she's going to have a seizure while she's playing on the playground.
Her 6-year-old daughter was diagnosed with epilepsy when she was just 22 months old.
6-year-olds shouldn't be able to swallow pills, but she can because she's been taking them for so long.
This year, the Townsends and other families have traveled to the State House, something Representative Ball has relied on as he's pushed the bill through.
Because I'm grateful to them, and I really didn't do that much. I mean, I was just kind of there and just tried to do what I was supposed to do, and then other people did what they were supposed to do, and what I did on this bill doesn't compare to what those families go through.
With a bill now finally a law, it's like finding the right melody to a song.
It's hard to know what someone's going through unless you're standing right there in their shoes. It's not.
With Governor Bentley deciding to sign the bill, Lenny's Law will officially go into effect on June 1st. Mark?
Not your typical story from the legislature. Michael, thanks for sharing it with us. It was not your typical day on the steps of the state capitol either. This is National Day of Prayer, and Governor Bentley celebrated the day with a ceremony here on the steps of the Capitol. The governor and other speakers pausing during the ceremony to say prayers for the state. It also kicked off a Bible reading marathon that will wrap up on Sunday.
Well, it takes a lot of volunteers to make the Yokohama LPGA Classic tournament run smoothly. And one of the volunteer jobs puts you in the best spot. Our live coverage from the course continues.
And we're now live in what makes the Senator Golf Course, which hosts the Yokohama Tire LPGA Classic, pretty difficult, the sand. Coming up in just a moment, we'll show you how difficult it is to hit out of this, and we'll talk details about your Mother's Day weekend forecast. WSFA 12 News at 6 continues after this.
You're watching WSFA 12 News and the Raycom News Network, Alabama's news source.
Well, the first round of the big LPGA tournament in Prattville is underway.
And 2 volunteers are getting a front row seat to all the action. Now, they aren't getting paid, but they say the rewards are more than anything money can buy. WSFA 12 News reporter Brian Henry joins us live from the greens at RTJ. And Brian, we are talking about volunteers sitting on the front row of the bleachers.
That's right, Mark and Val. They stayed inside the ropes all day and ended up playing a very crucial role for the Golf Channel.
Great shot by Corda.
Kim Davis and Kurt Motlin can't imagine being anywhere today except on the golf course. Not just any course, but the RTJ.
Rob, I have colors.
Home of the Yokohama Tire LPGA Tour, it is here where Kurt and Kim do what they do best, ball spotters for the Golf Channel.
I cannot describe just how exciting this is.
Consider them the eyes and ears for the network. It is their job, for example, to tell the producers where the ball lands and how far.
We're telling them what's going on, and they're reporting that to the announcer.
Kurt drove 12 hours from Texas to be a volunteer, 8 years and counting. He's retired and not getting paid one dime.
I enjoy it. I have friends here in the area.
On the 9th hole, Kim is on the fairway. She remains quiet and only speaks when it's necessary.
Jessica Corder has on.
Kurt is much closer, eyes peeled to the play, ready to guide the channel with a cool and calm demeanor.
The biggest challenge, I think, is just getting in position and being able to see all the players when the golf balls are not in the same location.
In other words, you have to understand the game and its nuances before you can do this. Both have played more than their share of golf. While it may seem Kim and Kurt don't talk a lot on the course, there is still quite a bit of chatter behind the scene on the headset.
I'm sorry, I'm listening to.
It's all part of the world of a network broadcast, organized chaos the viewers never see.
And so I'm listening to him and answering your question.
But Kim Davis loves every minute of it, every step of the way.
The only thing that would be better if I were at the Masters.
Living the dream on the greens. Kim and Kurt say they will continue to do this as long as they're having fun, which means they will keep coming back here for years to come. Valerie?
All right, thanks a lot, Brian. Tournament officials believe they could easily see 30,000 spectators for the tournament. Ticket and schedule information, go to the sports page of WSFA.com and check out the Yokohama LPGA Classic section.
I tell you, the weather, you could just tell from that video, it's perfect to be on the course. Any outdoor activity, it was perfect for today.
And it's a little cooler today, but will warm weather return over the weekend? WSFA First Alert Chief Meteorologist Josh Johnson has your new forecast coming up.
Now your WSFA First Alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Johnson.
Hey there and welcome back. We are broadcasting live now from the Yokohama Tire LPGA Classic here in Prattville, and it's played on the Senator Golf Course. If you're familiar with this golf course, it's link style, meaning there aren't a lot of trees, but there is still something that makes this course very difficult, and that something is 140 bunkers. Hitting a ball out of sand is pretty tricky, and to give you kind of a first-person perspective on how tricky this is, we're going to try to hit a few. Here's our own Brian Henry. And Brian, we've got a couple of balls. Brian is going to take a whack at this and see how this goes. Brian's got about 75. And cut was a swing and a miss. First cut was a swing and a miss. Let's see what we do now. Let's see what we have now. Hey, that wasn't bad. It's a decent little cut out of the sand right there. Swing and a miss on that one. There we go. Brian, great job. If you could come over here and we'll chat about how tough that is, and then I'm going to take a couple of stabs at it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm ready to retire from television just yet. I need a few more lessons, and I'm certainly nowhere near ready for the LPGA Tour.
That's pretty tricky. I'm going to take a stab at it.
Great.
You're going to play Golf Network narrator here. Stay right here.
Okay.
And I'll hop in and see what we can do.
Now, Josh, you know, this could be a little scary watching you.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, we'll see what he's about to do now. You know, the main thing with golf, of course, is to hit the ball. And Josh and I were, well, very nice, very nice. I'm going to estimate that's probably about a 20-yarder. Now he's going to hit the last ball in the stand trap, and a good swing. Oh, that's a very good shot. Very good shot. That's 150 yards. Very good. Congratulations.
He's got a career with the Golf Network. So, all righty. So, point here being, you know, we lined up 4 balls. Neither of us are any good at golf, and they weren't very good shots. The tricky part of hitting out of sand is as soon as the club face comes through it, it rips the club face open out of your hand a little bit, and the shot tends to go off to the right or pretty weak. So that's what these pros are up against this week in Prattville, is this very, very difficult array of bunkers. One thing they're not up against, though, is the weather, at least not any rain or anything like that. It is a bit breezy out here. We've got our 7-day forecast in right now. Check it out. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking forecast, all things considered. Temperatures certainly aren't a problem. I will say this, though, and this goes for not only golfers, but everybody. Get ready. Tomorrow morning will be on the chilly side. We're talking low temperatures tonight and tomorrow in the upper 40s, around 49 degrees. Then over the weekend, we warm things up. Mother's Day, and of course the big Crenshaw County Rodeo. Yeah, we've got a lot going on this weekend. The weather looks great across the board through at least Monday, and then scattered showers and storms creep back into the forecast into the middle part of next week. Yeah, but suffice it to say, guys, I don't think Brian and I are going to give up our day jobs anytime soon. Hitting out of this stuff's pretty tough.
Oh, you made it look easy. You really did.
We appreciate that little show.
Thanks. And next in sports, a live report on the leaderboard at the LPGA and a look at how Auburn and Alabama golfers are doing.
Plus, Alabama State University is also celebrating a little bit of golfing news. Stay with us. The story after this.
Now, WSFA 12 Sports with Stephen Gutter.
Live from Prattville on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, round number 1 of the Yokohama Tire LPGA Classic just wrapping up. A few more golfers still out on the course trying to get in because the wind is whipping right now. Let's take a look at some of the earlier action from round number 1 here in Prattville. On top of the leaderboard at 7 under is Letitia Beck. Beck birdie on par 5, 8th hole. Teeing off in the morning session might have had an advantage for Beck today. Bogey-free day for her. Just 3 strokes back, though, is Alejandra Yaneza. She fires a 4 under today, 68. Solid round for Yaneza. The defending champion, Chris Tomales. We remember her last year. Not her best day here in Prattville. 5 bogeys on the afternoon for Tomales. 4 over heading into round number 2 on Friday. And, of course, a name that a lot of golf fans recognize, Michelle Wee. 1 under today in round number 1. Let's bring up the updated leaderboard. As we said, just a few golfers still trickling in tonight. We have Beck, 7 under par at number 1. Annie Park, one of the players that teed off in the afternoon session, 5 under at 2nd place and then tied for 3rd. 2 players there. Minji Lee still out on the course right now, and Yaneza at 4 under, tied for 3rd. Now, some former Tide and Tiger golfers looking pretty good out there today. Hannah Collier, a former Bama golfer, teeing off in the afternoon session. She is from Birmingham, a Birmingham native. She was 1 under after her turn. She is still on the course as we speak. Stephanie Meadow finishing 3 under, the former Tide golfer trying to qualify for the Olympics in Rio. She is trying to represent her country of Ireland. Former Auburn golfer Sydney Clanton finishing at 1 under, and Carlin Beck, the Montgomery native and also former Auburn Tiger, at 2 over after round number 1 today. Hey, LPGA talk and also college golf talk today. This week, the NCAA Regional Selection Show was today, and the 8th-ranked Auburn men's golf team earning the number 2 seed in the 13-team Tuscaloosa Regional. And joining the Tigers in Tuscaloosa, the Crimson Tide. Bama earning the number 4 seed at home. The 54-hole regional is from May the 16th to the 18th there in Tuscaloosa. And the Troy Trojans, fresh off their Sun Belt title, have been selected to the Franklin, Tennessee Regional, hosted by the Vanderbilt Commodores. The Trojans, the number 10 seed in that region there in Tennessee. Alabama State, the men's golf team in the Stillwater, Oklahoma Regional, which is hosted by Oklahoma State, the number 14 seed there. But how about a big congrats to the Hornet golf team today, winning the HBCU National Championship held in Tunica, Mississippi. ASU beating the number 2 team in that tournament. Check this out, by 9 strokes to win that title. Congrats to the ASU men's golf team. And game number 2 of the series between the Biscuits and the Barons tonight at 7:05. First pitch 7:05. We'll have highlights from game number 2 at 10 o'clock. But a big day on Saturday. Let's preview that. Military Appreciation Night at Riverwalk Stadium. All branches of the military will be recognized that night. Plus Saturday, our Biscuits Batter Up Special at 6:15 live right here on WSFA. And then 6:35 after the Batter Up Special, we will air the Biscuits and the Barons game live. 6:35. First pitch, we'll have the highlights and play-by-play for you right here on WSFA. That's it from a windy day number 1 here at the Yokohama Tire LPGA Classic. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Now a WSFA 12 News editorial with Vice President and General Manager Eric Duncan.
Another legislative session is in the books, and it looks like another special session is on the way. The 2016 legislative session went on with little fanfare compared to recent years. Both budgets were passed early on, though the general fund and the issue with Medicaid funding will probably bring legislators back in late summer. Among the positives, and there were some positives, was an education budget that included long overdue teacher pay raises. Hopefully this is a start to better teacher pay and administrative pay. This will allow Alabama to compete with other states for the best teachers and administrators. The big misses were the prison bill stalling out without resolution, lottery not making it to the floor, and the lack of Medicaid funding. These are the 3 largest issues that face the state today, and all are in some way tied together. All in all, another tough session for legislators, and another year of little progress when it comes to solving the state's financial woes. If you're happy with what was done over the last few months, let your legislator know about it. If not, and you're tired of seeing your tax dollars going to endless special sessions, let them know about that too.
If you would like to respond, go to WSFA.com or send your response to this address.
Tonight at 10, the 12 News Defenders put these window screens to the test. Can the screens keep you safe from intruders or even debris from severe weather? We show you how they work tonight at 10 o'clock.
We'll see you then. Right now, it's time for Entertainment Tonight. Thanks for watching.